The Department of Agriculture announced that Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, also known as SNAP, would not be distributed on November 1st. The department attributed this halt to funding running dry for the Essential Food Stamps program, citing the ongoing government shutdown. However, this claim has been challenged by Democrats and some policy analysts. The message posted on the USDA website placed the blame for the funding shortfall directly on Democrats, who have held off on supporting the Republican-backed continuing resolution to fund the government in 12 votes so far, with the exception of 3 senators who are members of the Democratic caucus. The notice reads, quote, "We are approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats." It continues, quote, "They can continue to hold out for health care for illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies, and the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutrition assistance." Democrats have pushed their own version of a funding bill, which would extend subsidies for the Affordable Care Act to address an expected rise in insurance premiums that could take effect after the end of the year. They have consistently disputed the claim that they want to provide health care to people living in the country illegally. Almost 42 million Americans relied on SNAP-funded programs to purchase food in fiscal year 2024, according to the USDA, spending on average $187.20 in benefits per month. SNAP cost the federal government $99.8 billion annually, or roughly $8.3 billion per month. The USDA previously circulated a memo, reported on by multiple outlets last week, saying the agency was not planning to use emergency funds to fund the program while the government remains shut down. Some states have moved to dip into their own funds to cover SNAP while the federal government remains shut down. However, even if states are able to cover their costs, the memo circulated last week also implied that states pursuing this strategy will not be reimbursed by the federal government when it reopens. The memo states, quote, "States are responsible for determining household benefits and the movement of dollars through to the processors and ultimately to the retailers. There is no provision or allowance under current law for states to cover the costs of benefits and be reimbursed." For more on this story, check out the article at the link in the description.